So, kind of skipped 12 and chapter 12 and 13, so I'm going over it now. Purity embraces wise wisdom. Inviting your parents into your love life. Sounds disturbing, right? Your mother has the ability to vaccinate you. Many times, the little red lizards are inherited. The little sins that we talked about way back in the day. I think we made in chapter 2. For example, Solomon had the same tendency towards sexual sin that his father David displayed. You know, when David with his Bathsheba and Solomon's, David's sin was with Bathsheba, and Solomon's was the fact that he had like ridiculous amounts of wives and concubines. The same diseases of the soul or sins that your parents came up against in their life will very likely be the ones you struggle with. If you can get a taste of that through their testimony and perhaps seeing their shame and regret, you will be better able to fight against it. Okay, so this is assuming that your parents are saved. Only one of mine is saved, which is my mom, and we don't really get each other because I'm not like her. Like, the sins, she doesn't appear, she pretends that she doesn't struggle with any sins, but anyways, but definitely true that, you know, you do inherit certain sins from your parents, so to know what their past was like, what they were like when they were growing up, and the things that they did, you know, just at least you can get that information, because then you can see, you know, what sins they struggle with, whether they're actually telling you that they're sins or they're not, because, you know, they're not saved. Like for me, it was definitely lost. That was like something in me even when I was young. I mean, ridiculously young. That manifested in me like in elementary school, and that was something that my dad has. It's something that he does have. He's not saved. He pretends to be saved, but it's something that I see in him, and I'm just like, oh man, like. And I see also in my older sister, because she also inherited that too. And me and my older sister are very much alike. We were raised in like completely different because we're just the same sister from the same father, but like she was raised in Puerto Rico, and I see her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I could have totally ended up like that. I'm like, you know, I don't know. I'm still praying for her, hoping she gets saved. Anyways, so the other section, write a letter. Write a letter to your parents. It will most likely readjust both your attitude and their response. It is a good exercise to examine your own attitude. Express to them how much you care, how much you crave their attention and need their help. So, yeah. If your parents are saved, yeah, or, willing to talk about it, there's some parents that just denied now. They never did anything wrong. They were saints for forever. Just try it out though. If you can, if you're blessed enough to have parents who are saved. Alright. So the truth about sex. It's out of this world. I love some of the titles of this book. I swear. Understanding the heavenly purpose of sex. Response to Romans 12:1. I present my body as a living sacrifice that is holy and acceptable. This is only reasonable in light of what you have done for me. That's a response to Romans 12:1. Your sexual union is a blood covenant between you, your husband, and God. In the Old Testament, animal sacrifices were made for atonement and for praise. Today our bodies are to be living sacrifices, as Romans 12:1 and 2 says. Stop a moment and read Psalms 63 verses 1 through 8. So let me do that for you. 63, 1 through 8. Okay. O God, you are my God. I shall seek you earnestly. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh yearns for you, in a dry and weary land where there is no water. Thus I have seen you in the sanctuary, to see your power and your glory, because your loving kindness is better than life. My lips will praise you, so I will bless you as long as I live. I will lift up my hands in your name. My soul is satisfied as with marrow and fatness, and my mouth offers praises with joyful lips. When I remember you on my bed, I meditate on you in the night watches, for you have been my help. And in the shadow of your wings I sing for joy. My soul clings to you. Your right hand upholds me. And take that moment and read that on your own, and just offer up your body as a sacrifice of praise to God. As David writes about each body part and praises God with it, give him that part of you. Do the same, give him that part of you that you're talking about. Focus especially on verse 1 where he talks about his flesh yearning for God. Pray that into your life to replace worldly passion. Take this time to praise him with your purity. So yeah, prayer is definitely a big thing. Like if you're feeling, hormonal. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Anyways, I think you know what I mean. Pray. I know at that time you want to be like, I want to talk to God. I feel so ashamed. Oh my God, I'm so, yeah. So pray. Purity's watches burning flames. This is chapter 16. Finding More to help you. In Psalm 77:19. Let me go find that. Should I close my Bible? Your way was in the sea, and your paths in the mighty waters, and your footprints may not be known. Alright. Finding a burning flame will give you. Oh, I should know where that is. That's not going to make sense with the stuff I wrote down, but oh well. Finding a burning flame who will give you guidance and encouragement to follow the godly path. She should be More. M, making right choices, living righteously in her current life. O, older and wiser. R, readily accessible so she can watch you and you can watch her. And E, excited to burn for you. So write down a few names of people who have burned brightly for you in the past. Jot down the names of some women that you know who are more. Right, the acronym. Choose one of them to approach. Write your request to God to put it on. Oh my gosh, why can't I read? Write your request to God to put it on the heart to burn for you. Find a burning flame, my friend, and promise me that when someone else finds you, no matter how old you are, no matter what clutter lies in your past, no matter how busy you are, no matter how inferior you may feel, you will be a burning flame for her. Okay? So it's an older person to keep you accountable of your sexual purity. Somebody who would actually be willing to listen and talk about it, because, like, I know some leader at my church who refuses. Like, you talk about, you mention the word sex, and she's like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. So that's not your person to talk to about it. Like, someone who's married and who has been sexually pure, like, I don't know, just someone who's married really, ultimately, and older than you, and strong in the Lord. What else? I don't know why I'm about to turn off the camera. I'm not done. The payments on the pearl continue, using the 7 secrets of after your wedding day, and it shows Ecclesiastes 4:12. Ecclesiastes 4:12. And if one can overpower him who is alone, 2 can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly torn apart. So a cord of 3 strands, or what she says in the book is like, it's you, your husband, and God, and you're all tied together to keep together. So anyways, one thing to remember once you're married, or you just got married, whatever, or in the future: no marriage is without pain or is perfect. Okay, it's not gonna be perfect just because, because you're a Christian, it's gonna be perfect. No. But God's gonna help you through that. Like when your worldly self can no longer put up with that person, and they really piss you off, and like you can't stand them anymore, and you don't see eye to eye. It's like you can't communicate, whatever. God will be that one thing that your relationship and commitment to God will help you in your relationship and commitment to your husband. May your future marriage be a portrait of your devotion for the pearl of great price. He costs everything. He is worth the price. Right?